Amidst the azure waters of the Caribbean, Epstein Island stood shrouded in an eerie mist, its palm-fringed shores concealing secrets darker than the depths that surrounded it. The island, once a playground for the elite, had become a haunting reminder of the sins buried within its lush foliage. As the moon cast an otherworldly glow upon the island, a group of unsuspecting individuals arrived, drawn by the allure of an exclusive event that promised opulence and secrecy. The air seemed to hum with an unsettling energy, the whispers of forgotten echoes reaching out to those who dared trespass upon its enigmatic shores. The group, a mix of curious thrill-seekers and those lured by the promise of clandestine revelry, stepped onto the dock, their gazes fixated on the imposing mansion that loomed at the island's heart. The grandeur of the estate belied the chilling history that clung to its walls. As the night unfolded, the guests found themselves ensnared in a web of decadence and depravity. Unseen eyes watched from the shadows, and whispers of a sordid past murmured through the gentle rustle of the island's palm fronds. Each step on a marble floors echoed with the unresolved grievances of the lives that had been marred. Within those walls, the mansion's corridors became a labyrinth of secrets, and the air carried the weight of unspeakable acts committed in the pursuit of power and pleasure. As the clock struck midnight, a spectral mist descended upon the island, blurring the boundaries between the living and the departed. Unearthly apparitions, the spirits of those who had suffered in silence, materialized in the flickering candlelight. Their faces bore the imprints of agony, and hollow eyes stared into the souls of the intruders, demanding acknowledgment for the atrocities committed in the name of privilege. The grand hall, once witness to lavish soirees, became a spectral ballroom where the condemned danced to a tune only they could hear. The guests, their senses overwhelmed by the paranormal spectacle, felt the oppressive weight of guilt pressing upon them, as if the island itself sought retribution for the sins of the past. In the darkest corners of Epstein Island, a malevolent force stirred. The very ground seemed to quake with the anger of the forgotten, and the whispers of the silenced souls crescendoed into a haunting symphony. Shadows moved with a life of their own, coalescing into a formless entity that sought to reclaim the stolen moments and shatter lives. The intruders, now trapped within the island's supernatural grasp, struggled to escape the clutches of their spectral hosts. The once enticing paradise had transformed into a nightmarish purgatory where the sins of the past demanded acknowledgement and repentance. As the spectral figures surrounded the guests, a ghostly voice reverberated through the grand hall, recounting the injustices perpetrated on the island. Each tale bore the weight of lives cut short, dreams extinguished, and innocence stolen. The guests, paralyzed by the haunting narratives, found themselves entangled in the web of Epstein Island's grim history. Amidst the paranormal tumult, the walls of the mansion seemed to bleed memories, visual echoes of illicit dealings, clandestine meetings, and the silent cries of those betrayed. A phantom banquet unfolded, serving the indulgences of the privileged, and the faces of the deceased stared reproachfully at the living who dared intrude upon their eternal unrest. As the night wore on, the island's malevolent force intensified, and their guests, now pallid and trembling, were forced to confront their complicity in the sins that had tainted Epstein Island. The boundaries between the living and the dead blurred further, and the ethereal realm claimed dominion over the once sinister playground. With the first light of dawn, the island released its spectral grip, leaving the mansion in eerie silence. The grand hall, once a theater of unearthly torment, now stood empty, the whispers of the past fading into the shadows. The guests, drained of color and shaken to their core, stumbled out of the mansion, their minds forever marked by the spectral dance with Epstein Island's tormented legacy. Epstein Island, forever altered by the night's macabre events, returned to its deceptive calm. The palm fronds rustled in the tropical breeze, as if whispering tales of a night when the veil between the living and the dead was lifted, and the island's secrets briefly spilled into the realm of the mortals. The echoes of the forgotten souls lingered, an indelible mark etched into the very fabric of Epstein Island's enigmatic existence.